Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's awesome that you're tuning in. So in this video we are going to take a close look at one of my favorite handhelds. It's called the Powkiddy, or better said, the Powkiddy, the V90. And the V90 is basically like a quite interesting piece of technology, or back in the day it was cheap, it was affordable and had like a lot of cool things to it. But there are some pros and cons to this device that I'm also going to talk about. But this is the new edition, or that's what they told me, the new edition. And I was more like, okay, what is this new version all about? I know there is a new firmware out, and the cost of firmware, is this pre-installed on this device, or is it still going to get the same old stuff that I had before? Not that that's really bad, but I was curious, so that's the reason I picked it up. It also comes with a very nice cardboard paper that says basically that we need to shut it down through the settings menu and not to turn it off, otherwise your card can get corrupted. To be honest, I didn't have the issue with my previous one, but okay, whatever. That seems to be that it was the case or a problem. In here we're going to get ourselves the Type-C connection, and I just need to grab myself the older one to remember if the older one also had the Type-C, and then do a quick side by side with the older version because I'm really curious what we're going to get. The toilet paper manual, of course. Is there any English in this thing? Oh, whatever. Like, oh, yes, there is. But here, basically how everything works and what you can do with it. But would say, like, if you have any problems, you can always double check the toilet paper manual just to see what we're going to get. So the Powkiddy, it's more like a very unique piece of technology. I have never seen it like that often. Normally you don't have the clamshell designs, and that makes this thing very cool. Okay, so the other thing I already shown you quick briefly. This thing comes with the BL5C. This is the old school Nokia battery. Let's take a close look. It comes with a 1012 milliamp, and I think there's a bigger one. But what I like about these batteries, cost only a couple of dollars, so you can bring a couple with you, or yeah, just get yourself a bigger one. So that's pretty damn awesome. That's what I like about it, that you just have like rechargeable batteries they can pull out. In this case, you can just basically very easily can replace. But let's take a close look at the handheld itself. But is the product new or what? That's something that we're going to find out. But what I wanted to say is like this device is just has a special place in my heart, even in the jungle of handhelds. There are so many of these bloody things out there, but this particular one still got my interest. And it made me kind of weird because this device doesn't even have, for example, a TV out functionality. But it is just the form factor that I like, the way how it plays and the way how it feels. And of course this device reminds me of the Game Boy SP. I never owned as a child. Oh, by the way, and the reason why, because I didn't really play a lot of handhelds back then. I think my last Game Boy was the Game Boy Advanced, and from that point I basically like stopped playing handhelds and mostly like went back to the consoles. But the thing is, like with this device, the clamshell design already mentioned, I really like it and it's quite comfortable to play. And it comes with a very nice display and everything that I just love about it. At the front I'm going to get two speakers. The D-pad feels very nice, even for fighting games or beat 'em ups. It's very comfortable. So it's still got a cheap touch when it comes to these buttons, the ABXY. But the touch is not like in a bad way. Select start over here, and then we're going to get this tiny button basically for going back into the main menu. At the back we're going to get all the necessary buttons, and of course if you're going to hold it like this, yeah, I can reach them fairly easy. I must say I'm not the biggest fan of shoulder buttons, especially when they're going to be side by side. But I must say with this handheld it's just okay. When it comes to the design here, you can see like you can move the display in different positions and will stay in the position like it should be. So all these functionalities, it's fully made of plastic and it doesn't smell chemical at all. The on and off switch is over here. Then we're going to get the CF slot, the Type-C for basically like connecting a data transfer and a headphone, and a physical volume button. Stuff that I'm sometimes missing, especially the volume button with some of these handhelds. But the display, it's maybe not like the best display out there, but you're not paying a lot of money. There is some reflection due of the front. I think the screen protector gives me some extra, let's say, glare. But and overall, I do like the display itself. It's not the brightest, but again, like this device basically is more of a budget handheld than like a super expensive that you find like with Anbenic. Looking at the menu with the new model of 2022, and yeah, it's a little bit of a bummer because they don't give us like the new improved software. There is an open source version. Maybe I can make a separate video about that. and will like launch it on my Wicked Portable Gaming channel. But what you can see over here, we do have a support of all kinds of emulators. So it is not a really powerful device and will run up to PlayStation 1, but take consideration it will be like a mixed performance. And that's what we're going to go, what you're just going to get. I think this, let's say, Game Boy Advance SP clone is mainly if you just want to play your old school games. Think about handheld, 8-bit and 60-bit. Another feature I really like are the homebrew games. This is something you do see very often with these Anbenic devices, but it is just really cool to play some Wolfenstein 3D, Street of Rage, Quake 1 or 2. But I want to test a couple of them out just to see how far we can push it. Take consideration that I understand like the different software you can download is having even better support and will unlock more potential. But for now, I just want to basically try it and play it as is. So the first game I wanted to show you is Quake 1. And Quake 1 is a game that runs on most of these, let's say, Anbenic devices. But when you're looking at the second part, there we're going to get some minor issues, because that is a quite demanding game for these cheap devices. So let's take a close look at that one. So when you're looking at Quake 2, there we can see like it will struggle a little bit, because that is just too demanding for the system. It's still playable in my opinion, but you can see like it's not running on the full FPS. Oh boy, this is one of those classic games. Somebody shooting me, I don't know where it is. But those basic games I can really enjoy on the go, on a device like this. And here you can see like the D-pad is very responsive. Okay, so next up let's try some Street of Rage Remake. Another game that's quite demanding, especially when it comes to cheap devices. And what I understand of, if you're going to install the better or the newer firmware, it will like run way better, even up full speed. I find it a little bit of a bummer that with this new edition they didn't even put the effort toward getting us like the later edition with some new firmware. Here you can see like the loading times are slightly longer than normal. Okay, so where this handheld shines the best in my opinion is you just want to play some old school Game Boy games on the go. But that's mostly like what I love about this device, the old school stuff that runs very well, and the combination with the display, it looks in my opinion amazing. But all the emulators will have the option to tinker with it if you have some issues. For example, you just want to have a different scaling option, you have the option for that. Even if you just want to, like say, get rid of the bezel, or you want to get a bezel, that's all possible with the software itself. So I think that's pretty cool. I'm still having the issues with these handhelds. I was like, we're going to get a lot of difference in this level of audio. Basically, on this system, I need to crank it up to the maximum volume to get at least some volume out of it. And that's the reason I'm always happy with, let's say, a physical scrolling wheel. Sadly, with this game, we do have some bezels at the side. I think it's not a big of a deal, but... Okay, so when it comes to playing some Mega Drive, I think it's a pretty cool piece of technology. The sound effects are all here. Works like a charm. But so if you want to play all of the games, you will find some issues with this handheld. A little bit of a bummer, but that's what you're going to get with some of these devices. And again, already mentioned a couple of times, so with the new firmware you will have some improvements here and there. But again, like I just wanted to give you out of the box experience, what are we going to get. And yeah, it's not great. It's a little bit of a bummer that they're still doing it, like selling something new or new model. But in the end, like you're just slapping the old software on it and just giving you the same stuff all over again. But I just wanted to show you it's more like a particular game that will have a minor issue. that is almost most of the time fixable. But here you're going to play some old school Art of Fighting 1 and you don't have any issues whatsoever. I just wanted to try some super moves, just see how accurate the D-pad is. Let's see, try it from another side. It seems working just fine. Okay, so next up I just wanted to play a short part of the PlayStation 1 emulator. And what I've noticed, it already has set to frame skipping 1, and you can see like with 3-dimensional games, it will have some issues here and there sadly. So in my opinion it's still playable, but if you're going to get into the 2-dimensional part, there we do have the option to have better performance and play some different games. But here you can see like not even hitting the 60 FPS now. So when you're looking at the device I've reviewed some time ago and you're looking at the new model, there is no big difference over here. And I already mentioned like a couple of times in this video, I wish they like pre-installed like some different firmware at least to do that, so we have some better performance. The same goes with the connectivity of everything, like the Type-C port is already on the older one too. I did have some second doubts with the new version because I see so many handhelds nowadays with mini USB, micro USB, it's such a freaking mess. But nope, the older edition also had the same specifications. Okay, so when they were selling this, I thought it was absolutely a new model. Yeah, it's a new model because the color, I think there was one of those colors I've never seen before. Because you could only order it in like this orange, red color and yellow. And now we do have a black edition. Pretty damn awesome. And this handheld still has a special place in my heart because of the clamshell design. And I really enjoy playing it. So with some better firmware, I would say like, if they sell it, they need to have at least like better firmware so we have better performance, so you don't need to have all the hassle. If you want to see that video, I recommend checking the Wicked Portable channel. If you want to, I can make a video over there. For now, I just wanted to keep it like this. This is what you're going to get out of the box. Let me know what you think of the Powkiddy V90. Do you own it? What do you think of it? Let me know in the comments. Well, thank you for watching. Consider subscribing, hit that little bell, become one of the Wicked family, and I will see you in the next one.